There's a lot going on in our world right now. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that you're very aware of it yourself. And again, I know I've talked to this in the past, but sometimes it just feels like there's this desire, this need to hunker down, protect, and just kind of hold your breath until it all goes away and everything gets back to normal. I don't know if we'll get back to what once was normal, but then a new normal comes forward. And how do you even begin to consider your dream? Continue to move forward towards your dream with everything that's going on. Well, my name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. And in this video, in this live, I want to help you understand how to not only navigate all of the circumstances that are going on today, but how to do that and continue to move forward towards your dream, where you're not back burnering your dream. And if you want a deeper dive into this, join me on Saturday, 9:30 to 12:30 Pacific Daylight Time, PDT, where we're going to take a deep dive immersion into the system of how to truly be present for everything that's going on in life while continuing to advance your dream. The way to register is in the description. It's free. The only thing I ask is that you make a charitable contribution to an organization that has meaning for you. Okay, so how do you manage the stress and continue to advance your dream? Well, first of all, let's look at 3 types of stress. I was thinking about that this morning, and I realized that I have identified 3 kinds of stress. First of all, the stress of actually being in the experience of the difficulty, right? That I'm in California, and my friends to the north, to the south, and to the east, they are in the midst of the fire. They are evacuated. They are going home and facing devastating loss. There are people who have had COVID. I know people who have had COVID, continuing to struggle with COVID, and have lost people to the illness. And friends of mine that have been devastated by the hurricanes in the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic. And so there are people who are actually experiencing the impact of the things that are happening in our world right now. If you are in the midst of it, first of all, it's pure self-care. It's pure love. It's reaching down deep and accessing that part of you that knows that you are more than any outside factor condition that's in your world right now. To tap deep into this creative life force that truly is at work, even if it doesn't feel like it. To give yourself permission to have the human experience, let yourself have the emotions, and reach out for help, for comfort, for very specific assistance in order to be able to navigate those things, and to realize that as you are in the middle of them, you may be doing less towards your dream, and to ask, what can I do? Are there some that even when I'm packing up, I have a friend of mine that was evacuated up in Northern California, and she's continuing to serve her business and stay in touch with clients, and so she's doing what she can do, so it doesn't feel like that everything is just dissolving and falling apart around her. So if you're in the middle of it, if you're just in the thick of it and being directly impacted, lots of love, lots of grace, tapping deep into the stream of intelligence that created you and woke you up this morning, and to stay in the question, so what can I do? What are some things that I can do to advance my work, my business, my dream, my relationship forward? Because there's always something we can do even when we're in the thick of things. All right, so that's stress number 1. Stress number 2, and I found this interesting. I had never heard this term before, but I actually heard it from a client yesterday. It's called Nearmiss Fatigue. And that's the stress of being on high alert and possibly being told you need to evacuate, but not actually having to evacuate. Finding out that you were in a setting where somebody had COVID, but you test negatively. Again, I have a client who's in New Orleans, and she's been ready to go several times now this year, as there's been several hurricanes in the Gulf. And she was talking about near-miss fatigue, that, you know, she had a plan, she knew what she needed to do, but she ended up not having to go. You know, my husband and I, we live next to open space in Southern California. It's not close where we are right now, but we have been close in terms of fire. So it's that being on high alert. You know, you're watching the news, you're paying attention to the notifications, you're wondering when you're going to get the bullhorn coming down the street, or, you know, the scroll across the bottom of the TV, you know, these places in these areas, people in these areas, you need to go. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with staying on high alert and continuing to advance your dream? It just feels like, first of all, that you're just, the fatigue is such that you just want to just keep things going. You know, you're having challenges just doing that, much less continuing on with your dream. How do you deal with that stress? Well, first of all, understand it's a real thing. That near-miss fatigue is a real thing. And so you want to, again, take care of yourself. So with all of this, there's just tons of self-care that you're being asked to pour on yourself. Whether that's extra rest, making sure you're getting exercise, you're fueling your body with the right foods, you're being with people to the best that you can, of course, staying socially distanced, you know, whether it's over Zoom or over a phone call, but you're staying connected, that you're not muscling through this on your own, to really tap into your community and to realize, once again, that there is a power at work in your life, always. There's a power that's bigger than any outside factor condition. And the thing about near-miss fatigue, one of the most powerful things that you can do is to stay in the present moment. Is it happening right now? No, it's not happening right now. I'm in my home, everything's intact. I'm aware that there is this possibility, but it's not happening right now. Rita, I get it. I understand. And feel my arms around you right now, Rita. I know that there's been a lot going on in your world, as well as you've been impacted employment by COVID. And the thing about, you know, whatever the stress is, I'm speaking to a group here in a little bit later this morning, and then I have an all-day speaking engagement tomorrow. And one of the things I'm going to speak to is who we are as human beings as an open system. There's a guy back in the 70s, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. It starts with a P, that won the Nobel Prize in the area of chemistry for the work that he did around open and closed systems. And what he showed, that in a closed system, that the closed system will reach a certain level of stress, and then it exceeds what it's built for, and it blows apart. You know, think about a car engine. If you put too much stress on a car engine, it exceeds what it's built for, and it blows apart. The car engine blows apart. It blows a gasket. It gets cracked in the manifold and the engine block. That it's not built for stress, and it's not built to accommodate stress. An open system is able to actually absorb the stress and let the stress transform that system. It is the catalyst for helping it grow stronger, more resilient, and evolve it. You, my friend, Rita, you are an open system. You as a human being are an open system. But the mistake we make is that we treat ourselves and we treat our lives as closed systems. We do everything we can to reduce the stress in order not to blow apart. And so I'm talking about, like, if you're actually in the situation or you're in a near miss, you know, that near miss fatigue, understand that you are built to lean into stress and allow the stress to help you discover more capabilities, more of your magnificence, and help you reach down and access even more of the stream of intelligence that wove you into existence and woke you up this morning. When there's a lot of stress in your life, it's the opportunity to learn that you do not have conditions do not have you. You have conditions, and you are more than those conditions. So you don't let your life get hijacked by it. And the power of this is that now you have access to your creativity, to your ingenuity, to your innovation, and you have access to the stream of intelligence that's always guiding you. But when we shut down and try to reduce the stress, and I'm not saying not to take care of yourself during times like this. Please hear me. Of course you want to take care of yourself, but it's when we succumb to the stress and let what's going on outside of us be bigger than what you know yourself to be. So, all that applies that if you're actually in the thick of it, or if you're in near-miss fatigue. And always, always, always staying in the question, even with everything that's going on, what can I do? There's something I can do to advance my dream, to move my dream forward. Hey, Rebecca, really good to see you. So, stress of actually being in the thick of it, whether you're actually in the thick of the fires and you're evacuated, whether you're actually in the thick of the storms and dealing with damage to your home, or evacuated because of the hurricanes, if you're actually in the thick of COVID in some way, shape, or form, or if you're in the thick of what's going on in terms of racial injustice. You know, there's another element that's alive and active in our world. If you're in the thick of it, or what's called near-miss fatigue, especially with, you know, the storms, the fires, and COVID, to lots of grace, lots of self-care, really digging deep into the power that's moving through you. Understand that you are an open system. You are not a closed system, that you will not shatter if you exceed what you think you're built for stress. But when you understand that you are an open system, you discover ways to lean into the stress and let the stress transform you. And you stay in the question as you are faithful to your dream, because your dream's going to inform the direction that you take. It informs who you know yourself to be. And then as you stay in that question, what can I do? What can I do? So, you know, my client in New Orleans, even as she's thinking about, you know, because there's another several storms brewing in the Atlantic, and they're moving toward the U.S., she's still staying active in building her dream. Her dream is not being put on hold. It's within the container of life. And all of this is life. And then there's the third stressor. And many people may not necessarily consider this a stress, but I'm watching it with people, and I'm watching the tendency in my clients, and we're going after it. It's the stress of guilt that you're okay, and that you're really not that hugely impacted by something. But man, you turn on the news, you read a newspaper, you talk to people from around the country, and there's a feeling. It's like that survivor's guilt, or that guilt of being okay, and that can activate the part of you that wants to dial down your dream, dial down your initiative, keep things on the download in order not to appear insensitive or inconsiderate, or as if you're rubbing your good in other people's faces. And so you actually start slowing down your momentum. You actually start slowing down your acceleration in order to be able to be, you know, what you believe is being sensitive to the situation at hand. That's a remarkable, admirable quality, and it actually does people a disservice. Here's the thing about your dream. Your dream is not to get whatever it is that you will see in the land of your results as a success. If you keep coming back to the purpose of your dream, which I'm going to bring you back to every time I do a live, if you keep coming back to the purpose of your dream, the purpose of your dream is to help you wake up even more to who you really are, which is this breathtakingly powerful, magnificent, unlimited being. Your dream invites you to exceed anything that you've ever known for yourself before, and to step in and step up in remarkable, powerful ways, unlocking and unleashing your skills, your capabilities, your awareness, and your presence. Now, as you do that, you are growing into an even more mighty, magnificent version of yourself. And when you bring that even more magnificent version of yourself to the people around you and your world at large, you are actually bringing a service. You're elevating the mood at large. You're presencing an alternative. You're holding space for people who are struggling. You are able to take a stand for the good that's present, for the possibility that's unfolding, even in the challenge. And here's the thing, we've all experienced this before on a personal level. I don't know that anybody, I know in my lifetime, I don't know that I've experienced it at this degree collectively. We need people to stay solid, to stay grounded in what's real and true. We need people like myself who's not being directly impacted right now by what's going on, to hold the space, to hold the light for the possibilities, to be able to hold the energy for people that are in the midst of the struggle. And the way you grow that, the way you refine it, the way that you nuance it even more is by staying faithful to your dream. You're letting your dream inform who you're becoming. You let your dream inform the skills, the capabilities, the knowing that is yours to reach down and develop. And you let your dream show you how you are to contribute this even better version of yourself to the well-being of the people around you and our planet as a whole. So, how do you deal with the stress that's going on? If you're resonating at all with this, please drop some comments in the comment section. And if you want to take a deeper dive, join me Saturday, 9:30 to 12:30, FeliciaCersey.com/dreamlife. It's free. I'm just asking, especially now that you do a charitable contribution to an organization that is meaningful for you. We're going to go deep into this system in order for you to ground in your dream and move forward as you navigate whatever level of stress is happening in your life, allowing it to be the transformative catalyst rather than the thing that stops you, rather than the thing that will want Rita for you to crawl up in a hole and hide. So, review 3 stressors. You're in the thick of it. You're actually being impacted by it. You're reaching down deep, accessing that power that's so much bigger than any outside factor condition, and standing in the knowing that you are more than this. I am standing with you as your partner in believing, absolutely knowing that you are more than whatever circumstance is going on in your life. Second stressor, near-miss fatigue. You're not being directly impacted, but it's close, and it keeps getting close and keep going away. So, again, staying present, staying available for the good that is in your life, realizing it's not happening for me right now, and what can I do to keep my dream moving forward? And then the stress and the guilt of things that are going well. You are holding the light. You are holding the energy. The high watch is what oftentimes it's referred to for people that are struggling. Reach out to people that you know that are going through a tough time and check on them. Let them know that you're thinking about them. And stay faithful to the dream that is now acting as a catalyst for your transformation so you can bring even more of you forward. All right, join me on Saturday, 9:30 to 12:30, this coming Saturday, September 19th. We're going to dig deep into this Dreamlife activation code. My Jewish friends, I know that you have a high holy day, Rosh Hashanah, and so holding you in love and space and support, and I'm doing this monthly, so come hang out with me in October, and everybody else, come join me Saturday, 9:30 to 12:30. Let's dig deep on how that you can stay present in the current conditions, have conditions without conditions having you, so you can keep moving towards your dream. My name is Felicia Cersey, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Mwah. God bless.